Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. We're jumping straight into this one. I'm prepping my tumbler by sanding it with a sanding block. I can't remember if I used a 220 grit or a 180, but you want to sand your tumbler really good and then wash that off with some dish soap and water. And then I am going to be taping off the bottom of my tumbler because I love to do glitter butts. I've never done one for this design, but I figured it would be super cute to do a cute little glitter butt. Once I'm done cutting my electrical tape with my cup edging tool, I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and cut off where I could not reach where the handle is. So I'm going to try to keep this line as straight as possible and move as slow as possible because we don't want our design to be lopsided or not even all the way around. You'll notice I've added some painter's tape to the bottom of my tumbler. That's because I didn't want any overspray while I was spray painting my tumbler white. So I did use flat white by Rust-Oleum, and once that was completely dry, I was ready to come in with my painter's tape and start my pencil design. I do recommend using electrical tape for this style of tumbler. I don't know why I decided to use the painter's tape because I do have some electrical tape because I use that for the bottom of my tumbler, but don't use painter's tape because electrical tape is a lot more flexible and you can get straighter lines for the curve of this tumbler. Once I was done taping off the top of my tumbler where I will be applying my black glitter, I'm going to come in with my triangles and place these around my tumbler. This will be where our gold glitter goes, and I believe I sized these to be about 1 inch or so. So I'm just going to line these up as straight as I can, starting at the handle and coming all around the mug to the other side of the handle. You will know if it's not lined up straight when you get to the other side of the handle, because if that last triangle does not line up with the first one, you will know that it's kind of off, and you can just peel that right back up and try to get it as straight as you can. For this whole design, when you're taping it off, you have to eyeball everything. There's no template for it. I wish there was. It would be so much easier. Maybe I need to reach out to my girl Yanelli from Ellie's Crafty Co. But this whole design, you have to eyeball it, and if it's not straight, peel it back off and try to line it up as straight as you can. After we've added our last triangle, this is what it should look like. Thankfully, I got this on the first try. I usually don't, but you know what? I'm happy I did. Now I'm going to tape off the space between where we taped off for our black glitter and our triangles. I'm just going to take my painter's tape all the way around until that is fully covered. So that way we can focus on the center of our cup and we won't get any paint on those areas. Now I'm taking more painter's tape, starting by the handle. I'm just going to wrap this around my tumbler, trying to keep it as straight as I can. I am taping off where the silver part of our pencil will be, and I'm just going to make sure I get this as straight as possible because if these lines are crooked, you will definitely notice. So just make sure you're trying to get your lines, lined up straight and everything is symmetrical. With the hangover painter's tape on the bottom, I just smoothed that over and I'm ready to come in and add the rest of my painter's tape for the silver part. I will be coming above the handle and just lining this up. This is a little tougher than it is on the bottom because once again, I'm using painter's tape and not electrical tape. Make sure when you do this, I will probably say this again, please, please, please use electrical tape. It is a lot easier and a lot faster. And you won't struggle like I did with this painter's tape. This line was a little tough for me because as I got around and I started to smooth it down because that curve is right there, I noticed that my line wasn't completely straight. So I had to pull up the end part and reposition it until it was straight enough to my liking. You'll notice that I repositioned this a few times because every time I laid it back down, it was still a little bit crooked, but I finally got it right, I think after like the third try. But yeah, I definitely recommend using electrical tape for this design on this style of tumbler. Now I'm just going to tape off that middle section, and I'm going to lay this painter's tape right under the last tape that we laid down, so that way we can work on the center of our tumbler where our design will be. So when the design is done, we will pull up that the tape right here that I'm laying down, and then the silver part for our design will still be there for us to work on later. I'm just cutting off any extra painter's tape that's on here that we don't need with my X-Acto knife. And once I'm done cutting this, I'm going to remove that top painter's tape that we laid down before we applied this painter's tape in the middle of where the silver part will be. Now I'm just going to remove this painter's tape right here, and we are going to get started with our design in the middle, and we will start painting our ombre. These are the paint colors that I will be using. I will have them listed in the description box below. But I'm just coming in with my first color, and I'm going to start blending that into my second color, blending back and forth until I get my desired blend. You want to use a blending paintbrush for this part. You don't want to use one of those chip brushes or any other kind of brush that has like those really hard bristles, because you won't get the same blending. So you want to use a blending paintbrush. Usually it's the flat ones that look like they're flat and square. Since I am using 4 colors, once I get to my teal color, I will start over and use my light pink, then my bright pink, then purple, and then teal again. So my colors repeat on here twice. And I'm just going to keep blending this out until I get my desired look. This is just our first layer, so honestly, you guys, I'm not really too worried about how the blending looks on this layer. You really want to focus on your blending on your second layer of paint. Once you're done with all your blending, you should have something that looks kind of like this. I feel like I could have blended better, but it's okay. We're just gonna go with it. I really love the colors that is on this tumbler, and I can't wait to add the glitter and see how this all looks together. So now I'm just removing my painter's tape where it was already dry around the top part and around the silver part of the tumbler where we had taped off. So now we could work on our gold and silver sections of our pencil design. With my weeding pen, I'm going to come in and start to remove those vinyl triangles that I laid down earlier. And we're going to work on the gold part of our tumbler first. So I'm just digging that underneath each vinyl triangle, trying not to scratch anything or mess up my paint that I did, and just peel those right off. My weeding pen is from Tech Wrap Craft Vinyl. It is so convenient to have one of these needle tip weeding pens. I like them so much more than the other, like the regular weeding tools that come with your cutting machine that you get. But these are so convenient. You can get into those little corners without scratching anything or messing up anything. After I'm done peeling off all my vinyl, I'm ready to come in and start doing my glittering. Here's a quick spin around of our cute little design on our mug. Absolutely love it. All these glitters are from Glitter Heart Co. I will have them linked in the description box along with a discount code for you guys. And I'm also using my scribble technique, and I have a bottle filled with Mod Podge, and the needle tip writing tool that I got is from Hobby Lobby. So I'm starting off with my first scribbles over my light pink section, and I'm going to grab my light pink glitter and sprinkle that over my adhesive. I'm going to do all my light pink sections first just so I don't contaminate any glitter or get glitter where, like colored glitter where I don't want it. I'm going to continue to do this all the way around my tumbler until I have all my glitters in the correct colored sections. After I'm done applying my final glitter color, I'm going to let this sit and dry for about 40 minutes or so. I'll check on it every once in a while to see if it's completely dry. But guys, my phone was not recording when I first did the silver part, so I'm just going to show y'all how I do it real quick. I'm just going to take some Mod Podge and brush that over the silver part and then apply my silver glitter. You'll notice that each section of glitter that I do, I'm going to do 2 layers of glitter because I don't have a painted base. So that way I will get good coverage by doing my 2 layers of glitter. The gold glitter I'm using for the zigzag section of my tumbler is Goddess, I believe, from Peachy Olive Glitters. I really love this gold glitter. It's so pretty and it went perfect with the pastel colors that I have on my tumbler. I'm going to repeat those same steps for my black and pink section of my pencil, and then once that is done, we can continue to finish our design in the middle of our pencil. Once I was done applying my black glitter, I let that dry for a good 45 minutes before I moved on to finish my design in the middle. So I'm using my original scribbles technique, and I'm just going to ombre the colors in between each colored scribbles. So between the pink and the purple, I took my pink glitter and my purple glitter and I blended that in the middle just to get that ombre blend to match the paint base underneath. I'm going to continue to do these steps all the way around my tumbler until it is complete, and then once it is fully dry, we are going to seal all of our glitters in. Now that we are done with our glittering, this is what your tumbler should look like. And now I'm taking some Rust-Oleum 2x clear gloss spray paint, and I'm going to spray a generous amount of spray sealer on here, just so that way I know my glitter isn't moving and that black glitter is staying in place. Now that our glitters are sealed and dry, I'm ready to come in with my first layer of epoxy. I'm using Flynn Sisters Supply Shop Artist Cure Epoxy, and I used about 20 mLs for this first layer. I'm going to make sure I get in between those scribbles really good, because sometimes it can leave like little, I don't want to say bald spots, but like empty spots where the epoxy's not getting into. So I'm just going to make sure I rub my fingers in there really good to get that epoxy into those little crevices. After my tumbler has 2 layers of epoxy, I'm ready to come in with my vinyl detailing for my pencil. I'm using, I believe this is Tech Wrap Craft vinyl. I just cut some really skinny lines. I don't remember the exact measurements. I'll have it in the description box below. But yeah, so I just cut my vinyl and I'm lining this up as best as I can, as straight as I can, following those lines on my pencil. For my gold section, I'm using a gold textured vinyl that I picked up from Michael's because I didn't have one that matched the gold glitter. So once I saw this one at Michael's, I knew I had to get it because it went perfectly with this gold glitter. So I'm just going to outline the zigzags all the way around. And then once I'm done, I'm going to come back and slice in the middle to get that even V. So now I'm just taking my X-Acto knife and I'm going to slice in the middle where the point of the zigzag is. I saw Jessica Flynn do this and she said she got it from another creator. I can't remember the name, but if you just slice down the middle, you'll get that even V that you want. Now I'm taking my binding potion from Adhesive Apothecary to seal in my vinyls. And then once this is all covered and dried, I can finish off with my final layers of epoxy. So now for the final touch of our cute little pencil mug. I thought it would be so adorable to add a paper butt. So I am using Flynn Sisters Fast Cure for this part. I'm just mixing my glitter into my epoxy and I'm going to let gravity do its thing. So I'm just gonna roll this around and make sure I cover all of that vinyl on the bottom, let that cure, and then I'm gonna come in and do my final vinyl detailing. For the paper striping, I'm just using some pre-cut stripes that I've had left over from a previous project, but I'm gonna eyeball this and line this up as best as I can, and then I'm gonna cut off any excess vinyl striping with my X-Acto knife. This is what the completed paper butt looks like. And I did give my tumbler one good sand before I added my final coat of epoxy. And guys, this is pretty much it. This tumbler came out so cute. And I must say, doing the pencil design on a mug is my absolute favorite. Thank you so much for watching my tutorial, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.